No, it was more about that option pitch. So put Brendan in, and Brendan did a good job like we expect him to do.
Raise your hands. We'll get you to the mic.
Coach, how do you think the overall offensive execution was, going from the first half and into the second half?
Guys, to give definitive remarks about the overall execution is a little difficult right now. I mean, it's obvious, anybody can tell that we've got loads better to give ourselves a chance to be the type of team we'd like to be. At times we didn't run the ball very well, and at times we made big plays in the passing game. We got the ball in the perimeter a little bit, but still not like I'd like to. And yards on the inside were hard to come by, which is why there were some bigger plays in the passing game, quite honestly. So a lot of work left to do.
Coach, you obviously didn't like the option pitch. Are you upset that he pitched it at all, or was it just you're upset that he didn't pitch it accurately?
Yeah, I mean, the pitch keys up the field, keep the ball, let's go. So it's pretty basic.
Just take us through sort of what stood out to you from your personal experience, your first time coming out to Enter Sandman, coaching in front of these fans. What stands out to you?
Well, the kids, to me, I mean, the atmosphere is fantastic. I mean, it's what college football is all about. And, the people of Virginia Tech take a lot of pride in the game day atmosphere, and they should. And it was from the Hokie Walk to the entrance to the reactions of big plays and being loud on third down. That was all fantastic. My thought process going into the game was how are our kids? How do our kids handle these things? How do our kids respond when things don't go well? There were some times in there where things were kind of ugly looking, and I liked the way that our kids continued to dig in there and plow away. So the atmosphere, everything was fantastic, but I'm pretty pleased with the way the kids responded to a little bit of adversity there.
And four turnovers on defense, how pleased were you with the aggressiveness on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, did Stroh have 2 interceptions? That second one was amazing. We were able to get good pressure on the quarterback. It starts with them not being able to run the football and getting them in passing situations, and I thought we really did a good job.
Questions for Coach?
You got Wyatt in there a little bit at left guard. It seemed like the run game picked up a little bit there. Do you feel like he provided a spark at all in that sense?
Oh, I don't know. We played a bunch of guys today, and we ran them through there on O-line and wide receiver. And, we'll have to look at the film and see who played well and who didn't.
Speaking to the running game specifically, do you see the carries being as split as they were today going in the future, or do you think maybe some guys will take more of a primary role?
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we like for multiple people to carry the football, whether they're wide receivers or running backs or H-backs or whatever it is. So I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm not sure how it will go as we go through the season. But, historically there's been plenty of balls to go around.
Sly has been pretty automatic from inside of 40. In your mind, what is the range that you've kind of set for him as you've gotten to know his skill set?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a big leg, and some of that depends on the situation. I mean, you may roll the dice, at the end of the half or something and try a little bit longer field goal, the way the game's going and all that sort of stuff. I mean, he's certainly got enough leg to kick the ball from 50-plus yards. Handling those decisions are kind of whether we punt it or go for it or try and kick a field goal are kind of based on the game flow, more or less. But, he's got plenty of leg to kick it from well over 50 yards.
Looked like a lot of fade patterns, one-on-one stuff with Bucky and Isaiah. Or you like your chances in those situations with those guys going up?
Well, we got a lot of press today, which they hadn't done a lot of. They've done some coming into the game, but they played a little more press and tried to mix it up a little bit with some bail, some press bail, And those guys, we feel like we can get those guys singled up, that we can take a chance. We had a couple other things schemed up that we didn't get executed very well, that weren't just throwing fade balls, but we seem to, and we get a lot of work versus press in practice. So we executed it pretty well at times.
A couple more for Coach.
Another first game kind of question. How would you evaluate the way the coaching staff worked, the communication, the operation? Did it pick up kind of right where you left off from where you were in Memphis?
Yeah, it was good. We practiced that too last week. I mean, that was as much or anything part of the exercise of the mock game. So that we'd all been through it before and understood how it was going to go and all that sort of stuff. So that was certainly not an issue.
Anything else? All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank y'all.
Okay. Any riders in the hallway, we can do that. Questions for Isaiah. Coach Foster will be up when he's done with radio.
Isaiah, what did you think of Jerod in his debut, and how well did he kind of manage the offense today?
I think he did really well. I mean, as a whole, I think the offense, we need to execute better, but I think he did pretty good.
In terms of your chemistry with him, obviously it develops as the year goes on, but it seems like you guys have a pretty good sense. Where would you say it's at right now?
Like you said, I think we're pretty comfortable with each other as of now, but there's still some little minor details that we need to get used to, and like you said, that'll go along the longer that we play together, so there's still some execution things that we need to work on.
Isaiah, did you sense any frustration from that Chris Turner? Was he saying anything to you? Was he doing anything? Did he try to play you a different way after you pretty much wrecked his world there?
He was a little frustrated. I think maybe the sideline was more frustrated than he was. They all were letting me have it a little bit over there, but I mean, it's all in the game.
Coach Foster also available.
They not want to talk to me. He's the guy.
Raise your hands, switch the microphones. Mike.
Obviously, there's excitement for the first ball game of the year and all that. Was there any, in your mind, thinking about wanting to start Coach Fuente's tenure off the right way? Did you guys either feel any pressure or excitement for that?
We had a lot of emotion going into this game, just to get off on the right start and get back to the old Virginia Tech and the winning ways and the tradition and how this place was built, and we really wanted to perform well, and I think that's where a lot of the energy came from.
To Coach Foster, can you speak to your defense, the way they played today, and particularly forcing the turnovers? I know that's something you talked about wanting to get back to.
Yeah, it's a good starting point for us today. I was pleased with how we played. We didn't give up any explosive plays. They did a couple things early. We thought the quarterback may try to run a little bit, and he did with some quarterback draws and things of that nature. But we were able to create some plays. We were big on third down. That's real big, particularly with a team that has some no huddle, up tempo, that type of thing. I thought we stepped up in some sudden change situations. We did have the one where they scored on. We had a PI in the end zone, but. All in all, I thought we did a nice job in some sudden change situations, and then on third down in particular. And then obviously you play against a team that last year I think they had 11 turnovers for a season, and then to do what we did today, that was big. Getting more eyes on the ball, having guys, playing sound fundamentally, it showed today, and it was a starting point for us, and I'm excited about where we can continue to grow. But we're looking forward to this week. You improved the most from week 1 to week 2, and generally. And this, like I said, it's a good starting point for us and an opportunity for us to see where we need to improve and grow with our group.
But both Edmonds brothers had a turnover force today. How eager are you to see how those two grow into this defense?
Well, I'm excited. As I've mentioned, Terrell had a great spring and a great summer and a great camp, and you guys saw he's just a playmaker out there. Tremaine, I have still so much hope for and high expectations. And I asked him today, I said, how'd you play? He said, I had a couple misreads, but then after that I played really well. I think everybody was anxious. In a positive way, in a good way, to get going. I know Coach Fuente I'm sure was anxious to get out there and to start this new chapter. And I think at times we probably played a little anxious and a little uptight, and I think we loosened up as the game went along, both offensively and defensively. And that's part of it as well. Getting the feel of each other and the expectations. But I'm excited about those two guys, and again, having another set of brothers playing for Virginia Tech is really something special.
But you've obviously have used Greg Strowman before in that corner role, also at nickel. What did you think of his play today, and how much of a stride has he made from last season to this season?
Well, I think Greg, a lot like Terrell, was one of our more improved guys, and you can ask Isaiah. Greg had the task all spring and all summer of either guarding Bucky or guarding Isaiah or Cam, and those guys made him better. And I'd like to think he made them better because he's a guy that is an extreme competitor, and he's worked hard in the weight room to get bigger, to get stronger, to be more physical at that spot. And I thought last year a couple times he got nudged around a little bit just with his size. But he's a competitor, and he showed that today and has some playmaking abilities. And I was real pleased with and happy for him to be able to step up and make the plays that he did. And he was around the ball and, was there, contest a lot of throws and besides making some plays. And I'm real pleased where he's come and excited about the work as he's put into it, and it showed today.
Okay, I'll take the bait. What was it like to work against Greg, and how did that go?
I think I spoke on it maybe last week. I said that he was going to make a lot of plays for us this year, and I still vouch for him, and I know he'll back me up. But going against him all summer, like, he's crafty, he's scrappy, and like you said, he's one of the most competitive players on the team. So going against him one-on-one every day, you got to bring your hard hat because he's going to bring his, and he's going to get after it, and we just make each other better.
Do you have other questions for Isaiah?
For both of you guys, I know you were obviously focused on Liberty and the game planning, but did you watch the Tennessee game? Was that some time you had? Did you watch it either as a fan or with some teammates?
Well, I didn't see it. I was looking for it. You know what channel is it on? Was on DirecTV. Because I didn't get home. We called recruits. That was the first night we could call recruits, and then I ended up going out to eat dinner with my family and my grandchildren and stuff. So, not that Tennessee's not important. I look enough at them, and I looked enough at them this summer. But I'm really excited about the opportunity that we have. Obviously everybody's talking about the stage that we're going to play on, but it's not about that. It's about the game. And, we're playing in a dynamic football program, and we're really excited about the opportunity to go play those guys. It just happens to be in, one of the pretty special venue, and it's going to be really a special treat for our fans and hopefully for our players.
No, same thing. I didn't get to watch it either. I was at the girls' soccer game we played against Ohio State, so I didn't get a chance to see it.
All right, we're going to let Isaiah go here.
Questions for Coach Foster?
Go back radio. Yep. Thank you.
Coach, I know you're watching most of the defense, but what potential do you think this offense has, your offense has today? I mean, first time that a quarterback's thrown 4 touchdowns in a game in 12 years, obviously what Isaiah can do. What's your impression of the
Well, number one, I was just happy we don't have to play against those guys anymore. It's been a challenge. It's been fun to watch these guys because they're good at what they do. And, again, as I said earlier, I know there were jitters, and I know there was that anxiousness, and I think it showed early. But you saw a group kind of relax and play a little bit more under control and not force things. But I think we've got some dynamic guys. Obviously, we just talked to one. This guy's got so much potential. His first big-time college football game. It's a little bit different than playing down there in the dirt fields of Texas. Would you agree with that? But I tell you, we've got some playmaking abilities, the way they can move the ball around and do different things and take what the defense gives you. I think that's something that we're only going to continue to get better and grow as obviously we gain experience and we grow and develop. But I think it's a group that's got a chance, got a lot of upside, particularly because you have some playmakers there. You know, when you got Isaiah, you got a Bucky Hodges, you got Cam, you got a couple guys in the backfield that can do some things, and then now you got a quarterback that can run and throw it the way he can throw it. I mean, that's exciting for us.
Final question for Coach Foster.
Coach, you said you're really pleased with the fact that you didn't give up any explosive plays and played well against a mobile quarterback. How much has this offseason against a mobile quarterback and explosive players like Ford, Phillips, and Bucky kind of helped your defense in that way?
Well, it's been very helpful. You know, obviously the tempo that our offense we practice against, and we do a lot of good work with each other, which I like. And yeah, to be able to have to defend quarterback runs, to be able to have to defend a team that will take some shots and try to be explosive and create explosive plays, that only makes us better. So I think going into this season and going into today, we were prepared at least to play against that kind of group. And I felt like going into this game today, I was concerned because Liberty's strength was in their receiving core. That was their experience coming back. They had some explosive players coming back at that position. That was a concern for me. And we felt like we had to win the battle up front to be able to get pressure on the quarterback, to be able to stop the run and make them one-dimensional, which would put a little stress on him, whether it was with front pressure or coverage pressure. And I felt like we were able to do that today. But these guys were a big help and a big part of that.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank y'all.
We'll have Ken up as well. Raise your hand.
But before we start, I wanted to say some things first. I think our defense played like it was the end of the world. I mean, got 2 turnovers by Greg Strowman, had a sack by Ken, had another turnover or interception by Rail, and then they played their butts off today. So, any questions?
What was just the experience like for you? First game here at Virginia Tech, first game with Coach Fuente and these guys. What will stand out in terms of a memory for you?
Coming out the tunnel. It was exciting to see all the fans, see all the people jumping, running out with my teammates. It was definitely a great feeling. 9 months of hard work, off-season, spring. I mean, finally get the showcase of what we've been working on for 9 long months. So it was definitely exciting to finally showcase just a little bit. I mean, we had mistakes for sure. I know on my part I had a lot of mistakes that I am going to clean up, but for the most part it was exciting just because I get to go to war with my brothers.
In that mock game that Coach had you do, did you guys come out the tunnel? Did they play Enter Sandman, or was it just quiet?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Hey, Jerod, on the fumble, we were trying to pitch with the option. What happened on that play, and is the option something you've run a lot with? Or, I mean, are you familiar with that, or is that just kind of like a one-time?
I'm from the Air Force Academy, so that's all we ran, triple option. That was just doing too much. Trying to get everybody involved. Again, doing too much. I should have just, when I seen what I saw for as the dude peeling out, I should have just took it up the gut and get what I could get. So.
Just on your rapport with Isaiah Ford, was that a spot you felt like you could just go all day pretty much and it's going to be open for you?
Say it again?
On your on-field rapport with Isaiah Ford, was that a place where you felt like you could go all day and it was just open for you?
I mean, Isaiah is a special kind of player. I mean, so is Bucky, so is Cam. I mean, we practice that so much time. We get one-on-one, backside, just go get a man a chance, let him do the rest. So, yeah, he's a special player, and we work on that day in, day out of every practice.
Jerod, how do you think the overall execution of the offense went today in y'all's first game?
For the first game, there's a lot of emotions flying around. Again, 9 long months of hard work. We wanted to execute. We wanted to show the crowd, the fans, what we've been doing for 9 long months. So I think a lot of emotions was going through instead of actually thinking a little bit. So, again, that's what we have this whole week for, to prepare for and clean up the mistakes that we had. I think execution-wise, it was good, but it can be A lot better. A lot better.
Jerod, Coach Fuente really harped on that option pitch. Have you noticed that from him, that despite all the good things you do, 4 touchdown passes and everything, it's probably going to be mistakes that he's going to talk about with you?
Most definitely, he's a perfectionist. I mean, you should not expect nothing less from a perfectionist. I'm a perfectionist, so that's what I'm thinking about as well. Again, that's what this whole week coming up after today is for. So I go look back and see all the mistakes that I made, not just the pitch that I made, but all the mistakes that I made. But yeah, he's the one that's going to get on me, but he's the same one that's going to have my back when everything's go bad. So I don't think too much about it. I'm a perfectionist just like him.
Ken, it seemed like Liberty was, really trying to run the football a lot, but you guys had a lot of success up there. How tough was it to game plan against that kind of offense?
It wasn't too tough. I mean, our offense had the kind of run the same plays, so there's a lot of familiarity between the two. So that guy was really prepared going into this week.
Couple young guys on that defensive line out there, Trayvon Hill, obviously Ricky Walker, Tim Silva. How do you think they played today?
I think they played pretty well for the first game. Just getting their reps in. I know Trayvon was getting the rotation with me and Vinny, so I think it was good to get them reps for this game. And they're hell of a players, and they make a lot of plays in practice. And I just hoped for them to showcase it on the field.
Ken, you guys forced 4 turnovers today. How pleased were you with the disruption against a team that doesn't turn it over much, or at least didn't last year?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm very excited about what we are capable of this season. Just getting back to what you guys are used to seeing. Forcing turnovers. Just putting pressure on the QB. And stuff like that. So I was very pleased with our DBs. Flying to the ball and making interceptions and stuff like that, and the quarterback was getting the ball out of his hand pretty quick. But we applied a lot of pressure, so we worked pretty well together today, and very excited about what the season has in store for us.
Buck, you didn't have any targets in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden you get that touchdown in the end zone. How good did that feel, just to kind of get that first one out of the way?
It definitely was a good feeling. Like you said, it was my first pass, my first target, and I knew I just had to be patient, just let the game come to me, and paid off. Coach had faith in me, and so it was a touchdown.
Okay, how do you think the overall offensive execution was today?
Overall, I think it was good, but still small things that we need to capitalize on, little misreads here and there, just miss a couple misalignments. But overall, I feel like for the first game, because those little bumps always is in the first game. The first game to iron all those wrinkles out. So I feel like we definitely executed in a good way. We just ready to go on to Tennessee.
Any other questions for these 2 student athletes? Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
How tough was that second interception to make that grab?
I just seen the ball come out of the quarterback's hand and just tried to get my hands up, and luckily my hand stopped and it fell right down to me.
It seemed like Liberty didn't really want to stretch the field too much in the passing game. Did you guys kind of key in on that defensively and take advantage of that in the secondary?
Coach just had a plan, and Coach always wants to make a team one-dimensional. So, we just getting after him, and that's what we did.
Great chance for questions.
You guys had 4 turnovers in this game against a team that didn't commit many turnovers last year. How pleased are you with just sort of the disruption and the way to start this season?
I'm very happy with the whole defense. We executed and did what we were supposed to do, and Coach always harps on getting the ball to the offense, so that's what we.
Anyone else for Greg? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.